so let's get off the other stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're talking about that we don't have a lot of money in the county right now. You were talking about that, Mr. Johnson. And,
Sorry, you guys come in?
I'm right here. Yes, right here. Yes, sir. And it's been maybe a couple of months ago, I can't remember how long, but I was driving down Saxon Boulevard and a tank on the back of a semi pulled up beside me and it said Volusia County. And with a big old gun on it. I'd like to know who that's going to be pointed at and how much did it cost and why did we buy it?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We actually got two of them.
That's pretty bad.
Now, let me explain that to you. And I understand this, because I spent 6 years on the SWAT team. I was entry team leader. I know what it amounts to. We have quite a few SWAT calls, and a lot of them involve shooting. And actually, those pieces of equipment we have aren't heavy enough for what we need. Those are Army surplus. What we have in them is painting and the rubber treads that we put on them. We put the rubber treads on so they wouldn't tear up roads. They come with metal treads. When I decided to go to something bigger than we had, I was at the shooting in Deltona watching an active gunfight. And we had what was called a Peacekeeper. It's a light armored vehicle, very light, on a Dodge chassis. And I had a man in an active, the SWAT team in an active shootout where a man was actually ricocheting bullets off. Thank God it was a 20 gauge slug and not something like a 30-06 or 7mm Magnum, because I probably would have lost two officers right there, one behind a bulletproof window and one that was on the turret. Since then, okay, we got those because the government put them out, you know, through the two police departments for SWAT work, and we also use them for storm work. If you'll think back to the tornadoes, we use them because they don't have tires to go flat and other emergency issues like that. But those are emergency recovery vehicles. As a matter of fact, one of those that you may have seen was actually used. Do you remember in Lake County several years back when the officer was murdered over there at Lake Mac? That was our M113A armored personnel carrier that went in there to capture the man that killed them. Last year, or no, it's not last year, about 3 years ago, you may remember in Orange City where the man killed his girlfriend, killed several people. The Orange City police officer assisting us pulled up on the scene, was shot and lost his eye. He managed to get out of there. That man was held up in his house with a 50 caliber. A 50 caliber has a bullet just about that long. That thing won't even withstand a 50 caliber. We had to call Orlando and ask him to bring up what they call a Bearcat that will withstand the 50 caliber. We still used them, and people still did all the work also. But that is what that is for. It's a SWAT vehicle, a recovery vehicle, and truly, it's not enough vehicle for what we need. I don't know if you noticed Daytona PD last night. They were talking about they're getting them a Bearcat, and we're sorely in need of one for the safety of our deputies, recovery of victims, and it's something you wish you didn't have to do, but it's a reality of life, because we got bad guys out there that are heavier armed than us. Well, now we also have a 50 caliber, but they have 50s and other stuff, and that man down there had his 50, and the only reason he didn't use it, that we believe, he jammed it. He had a shell jammed in it. We could see where he was trying to beat the slide open. He had windows knocked out with guns and ammunition laying all around waiting to take us on, and that man finally just defeated himself and committed suicide. That's what we had.